Hey y'all, welcome back to the Getting It Wrong podcast, where we create a safe space for getting it wrong because getting it wrong is the first step to getting it right. I'm Gabrielle.
I'm Morgan.
And we are so happy that you guys have joined us today. We're going to give a recap of our last episode and then jump into our topic of the day. So, our last episode was about leveling up on a budget. And we had different topics or different ways that you could level up on a budget, such as your clothes or your makeup, or even when it comes to decorating your house. I don't know if there's anything else that you've thought about or wanted to add to that.
I guess that's what I wanted to add. Honestly, I think we covered some of it. I think we covered most of it.
We did. We covered a lot of things on our last episode, so make sure you go back and look it up if you are leveling up, but you want to find little ways to not spend as much money as you usually would. And honestly, I feel like I have so many other things to share. I feel like I only scratched the surface with that episode, so we might have to have a part 2 because I've got the tea.
Yeah, girl, don't hold out on us. We want to hear it.
I've got the tea. So make sure you stay tuned because we might have a part 2 to that episode as well. I feel like the things we shared last time were kind of common apps and other things that you can use to level up. But I have some ones that I keep in the cut that I don't really share because I don't know. I feel like sometimes you got to keep some things to yourself. But for you guys, I'll share it. We're going to do a part 2 and I'll share it with you guys.
Okay. We're ready. We're ready. I'm ready too, because I'm like, what's tea? Let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know. But yeah, so we're just gonna jump into today's topic, which I think you guys would really, really enjoy, especially our younger listeners or even same age and older listeners, because sometimes we miss lessons, so you never know. We're thinking about doing a series. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in, but what we got wrong in our 20s series.
Yes, because it's so much.
So much.
I mean, that's life. But yeah, if we got it wrong, we want you guys to get different things wrong than we got wrong. You know?
Exactly. Because like, we all make mistakes.
If you're getting the same things wrong that we got wrong, we're doing something wrong. We have to get you hip on game.
Yes. So the purpose of our podcast is to share things with you so you don't have to get the same things wrong that we got wrong. If you're getting the same things wrong that we got wrong, like you said, we're doing something wrong.
We are doing something wrong.
So for today, right, or you're not listening. It can't just all be on us, right?
Exactly.
So for today, our What We Got Wrong in Our 20s series is going to be about the workforce. So we're each going to share a few things that we got wrong in the workforce. I'll go first today. And mine are going to be geared around not setting proper boundaries in the workplace. I feel like that kind of encompasses like majority of the things that you can get wrong in the workplace. So
it does. So other than being there, because why are we not retired?
Right, like
being in the workforce at all, we're doing something wrong.
Something's wrong here. We're kidding. We're kidding. So for number 1, like kidding, not kidding. So the first thing that I have on my list is getting into your new job at 100%, like putting your all into it.
Yes.
And I get it. I get it. So when you're entering the workforce, you're so happy. It's like you have your big girl, big boy job, and you want to do your best and prove your worth to the people that I deserve to be here. It sounds good. It feels good. You feel like you're doing everything right, right?
Man.
Right. But you soon realize that it's not worth it.
No.
You get burnt out so fast. And if you get
paid
tired,
the same.
You get paid the same.
As you would if you were doing the average, the bare minimum.
Exactly. So if you get tired and if you want to scale back a little bit because you're like, I can't keep this up. Like I used to go into jobs working like my life depended on it. Like if I didn't give it my all, I was going to lose everything. But if I wanted to scale back, people would be looking at me funny, like you came in here doing this, and this. They think that 100% is your baseline.
Exactly. That's the problem.
And
You
it's
let people
not.
get used to you at 100%. And really, because if it was 100%, that might be fine. I was like 150 out here, like above and beyond.
150%
For what?
for what? Because if you give a job 150%, to take 150% and probably not give you any appreciation afterwards.
Exactly.
So my suggestion is to hold back a little bit in the beginning,
Yeah.
maybe show up at around 70% where you're still doing above average, but you're not doing it like your life depends on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it gives you a little wiggle room. So, like, if there comes a time where you can really show up and show out and shine, like, you still have the capacity to do that.
Exactly.
Because if you show up at 150% and then something comes up where you really have to show up and show out, you're going to be like, I can't. Like,
Give you
I
all I
can't.
got.
I've given you all that I've got. I can't do any more than what I'm doing right now. And it also gives you a little wiggle room. So let's say that you showed up and showed out, you can scale back. You can probably scale back even less than 70% after you showed up and showed out. Because they're already on the high of like, wow, okay, she
Right.
really showed up and showed out when we needed her. She can fall back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You still have a positive, you're still perceived positively in the
Yeah.
workforce if you scale back a little bit after you've shown up for the people in your workforce. So that is my number one when it comes to entering the workforce. Number two for me is not keeping yourself as a priority. This is a
Mm,
huge thing when it comes to the workforce because I feel as
yeah.
if it's so easy to get caught up in the things that you have to do at work. It's easy to be like, oh, I wasn't able to finish this at work, so I'm just going to take this home.
Oh no.
Don't do that. Do that, especially if they're not asking you to. Why are you doing
That's the thing.
that?
That's the one. You're like, oh, they're just gonna love it if I do this. Like, you're doing so much for what?
For
Yeah.
what? The person who just shows up every day and gives everyone a few laughs and does a little bit of work is getting paid the exact same thing you are.
Sometimes more. Let's be real with
Sometimes
ourselves.
more. Let's be real. It's like,
Mm.
yes, you can show up and do good work, but you don't have to basically kill yourself and
Mhm.
try to make sure that you do everything perfectly in order to be perceived positively in the workplace. Make sure you're leaving time for yourself. Make sure you're making sure you're getting all your hours of sleep if you can. Like it's
Mhm.
sometimes there might be times where you do need to take something home if you have a big project or depending on your line of work. Um, but it should not be an everyday occurrence because, like I said before, that's going to be hard to keep up.
Yeah.
You can't let your job take over your life. You still have to live. Your job doesn't care about you like you care about you. So if you give everything, like I said, to your job, then you're going to have nothing left. If you're letting your job take over your sleep, letting your job take over the time you need to take care of yourself, your morning routines, your nighttime routines, your exercise, if you don't have time to do the things that you need to do to
Yeah.
keep yourself happy and sane, it might mean that you need to pivot. It might mean that you need to not necessarily do a different job or go a different career path, but you definitely need a different position or a different I think I
Mhm.
said that a little bit confusingly because I do believe you might need a new job. Not
Oh,
necessarily
okay.
a new career path, but maybe a new job if they're
Okay.
expecting you to basically give you to the job, give yourself to the job and mesh
Mhm.
yourself in the job where it becomes your everything. I do understand. I feel like if you have your own business, that might require you to give it
That's
everything you've
different.
got because you're doing it for you,
Mhm.
your ideas for you, creating your life, but you can't give your life creating someone
We're
else's
talking about
dream.
when you're working for the man.
When you're working in corporate or building someone
Exactly.
else's dream,
Right. That's the thing.
give your all to
Mhm.
yourself in your dreams. If you're working for someone else, you still need to carve out time for yourself in your dreams, or you're just a cog in the wheel,
Mm.
in the wheels of capitalism. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like
preach.
we're always turning the wheels of capitalism because we do live in a
Yeah.
capitalistic society. However, like I said, you would want to be turning the wheels for yourself and not all the time
Yeah.
for someone else.
Exactly. At what expense?
At what expense?
Don't let it be yours.
And for the last one, I'm going to keep this one a little bit short. It is something that I got wrong in my 20s was not initially investing my money.
Ooh.
So I've always been really good at saving and putting money aside. Like I always pay myself first, put some money here, put some money there, make sure I have enough for what I need. But when I first entered the workforce, I honestly didn't know much when it came to investing. I believe that I did put my money into a 401k just because I knew it was an option and I felt like there would be a good thing to do. But then I remember after leaving jobs, I ended up taking the money out of my 401k and just spending it because I'm just like, I had no, I honestly
Come
didn't
on.
know anything, if I'm being
Full
honest.
disclosure, we're being honest here.
Yes, I'm being so honest. I'm totally different now. Like, I've done a lot of research and I have my money in different places and I'm learning as much as I can and doing as much as I can. And I feel like investing could be a whole nother episode. I'm not a professional or anything, so I'm not giving specific advice, but learn how to invest your money. If your job offers a 401k, look into that.
Yeah.
If they match, look into that. Try to max that out. Make sure you have a retirement account, a Roth IRA. That's super important. Max that out if you can. Um, and there's different things that you can invest in. I'm not going to get all into it today, but just make sure that if you can, invest your money.
Yeah.
The earlier you invest, the better off you'll be. And don't touch it. I told you I spent mine. Don't touch it. Learn from my mistakes.
Exactly. Learn from the mistakes.
And you don't have to invest a whole bunch. If you can only invest a little, if you can't max it out, that's 100% fine. Just get started and don't touch it.
Yeah.
And that's all that I have for what I got wrong in my 20s in the workplace.
Yeah. We can move to mine, but I love all of those.
Thank you.
100% agree. So moving to mine, I know Gabby already touched on giving all of yourself to work, but in addition to that, it's important to have like a third place. So they'd say a third place because people go to work and then they go home. But if you don't have like another place that you're going or a third place, that you are putting your energy in, then people tend to be less happy. So make sure that you have a third place. And what that could look like is maybe you go running. So that's free. You know, a lot of people are starting to run lately. Have you noticed that? People are joining running clubs
Yes.
and stuff. I
I
might
want to
have a
join a
couple on the
running club
way.
so bad. But there's this run club here in St. Louis that I want to join so bad. I follow them on Instagram, STL Run Club, free promo. Um, but they do their runs on a specific day every week that I'm never free.
Aw.
Literally never free. And it makes me so, right. I'm like, can you please do it on this day? And I promise I will show up. But yes, I like all their posts. Like I'm honestly a little bit thirsty. I'd probably need to scale back a little bit because I love to run. I love to run. I've been doing running at the park. I've been doing 5Ks, fun runs. I actually just did.
You were cross country in high school.
Yes, I did run cross country and track in high school.
Cool.
And I just did a fun run with my daughter the other day. She's 7, and this was her first time running. So I did not know. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but I really want to share this with you guys. It was her first time running. It was a mile, just a fun run, nothing too crazy. But I wasn't sure how she was going to react to it. I was like, okay, she's probably gonna like run a little bit and like maybe want to stop and walk. You know, she's never really ran before. Like I don't know. And she can be a bit of a princess. Like even when we go to the grocery store, she'll be like, because we have a choice between a smaller cart to grocery shop and a big cart to grocery shop. And she's always like, can you get the big cart so I can climb in and not have to walk around the grocery store? I would like a seat. Hilarious. So I wasn't sure what to expect with the fun run. But when I tell you, this girl killed it. She killed the fun run. I feel like I was holding her back. I'm like, you're going really fast. Pace yourself. Like slow down. Yeah, slow down. And she's looking at me like, oh, okay. But then I was kind of coaching her through it because she was kind of running in front of me the whole time. We never stopped the whole mile. She's running.
Wow.
And when we got like maybe 0.25 miles from the finish line, I'm like, okay, well, you can see the finish line. It's a little bit of a distance, but we can see it. So I'm like, run as fast as you can, as long as you can, until you cross that
Mm.
finish line. And when I say she took off and
Girl,
I couldn't catch
let
up,
me find
she beat me.
out. That
She beat me to the finish line. I was like,
that's
okay, she's a
crazy.
runner. Okay.
Not you were holding her back though. I love it. That sounds so fun.
It was really
Yes,
fun. And I
I
told her
love that.
after the race, I told her, I was like, next time we run, don't let me hold you back. If you
Take
outpace me,
off.
if you go fast, what you need to do, don't let me hold you back. I said, don't
That's
let anybody hold you back, not even me. Because I realized after the race, I was like, I was holding my baby back.
oh, shame on you.
Shame on me, but you learn, you make your mistakes, and
Right.
you figure out how to not make those same mistakes again. Because parenting doesn't come with a rule book. We're all
Yes.
doing our best. I wanted to share that story, but we
That
can go
was
back. I'm so
that
sorry to
was
interrupt.
perfect. No, I love that. And I'm inspired. We should do another fun run together with the kids.
I would love to
No,
do that.
that would be fun.
Yes.
So okay, yeah, find a third place. It could be running club. So I mean, there are plenty of free like third places. Running, you can spend more time at the library. They have book clubs, stuff like that. Or you could actually get like hobbies. People started crocheting. I know everybody started getting hobbies like during the pandemic. Go back to your pandemic hobby, you know?
What was your pandemic hobby?
Girl, I was doing hair. I was doing my hair all the time. Oh, I
Okay.
started walking. I started walking
Mm,
a lot during the pandemic. I still walk
okay.
a lot. I ended up getting a treadmill for my house. But at the time I was just walking outside a lot. Um, but I never stopped working during the pandemic. Like a lot of people had
Hmm.
to, I guess I was technically essential, like be real. I was essential or
Hmm.
whatever they called it. And yeah, I had to literally go to the office every day. So
Gotcha. Okay.
I didn't have as much time as everybody else, but I did start walking a lot.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, get a third place. You could do a dance club. You could start going to church, go to Bible study. I think I'm inspiring myself as I speak. I need to be at somebody's Bible study.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just like taking time to pour into yourself instead of just pouring all of you into work or all of you into going home and preparing for work the next day, because you
Mm,
know how that can be. So just making sure that you are giving yourself some love, finding things you like. That's important.
yes, ma'am.
Um, but yeah, so my next point is staying at your job too long. So this can really like cap people out sometimes at like moving up in a new position or in a new career direction. If you are staying at the same job for too long, it can also keep you from making as much money as you might want to make. There are other jobs in your same position, like other companies in your same position that might be making paying more. So really just taking the time to like shop around and make sure that you are just not selling yourself short, and just not allowing your job to like cap you out there at where you're at, whether it is skill wise or pay wise,
I
both.
agree 100%. Always have options. Always make sure that you're keeping
Exactly.
your eye on like what's hot, like what new skills you might need to
Hmm.
acquire in the job market, and just stay on the lookout because you don't want your
Hmm.
job to be your only option.
Exactly. Gabby, you're good at that. You're always like making sure you have good skills and
Thank you. I do my best, but I where I get stuck is the not feeling like I'm good enough. Well, not necessarily feeling like I'm good enough, but not feeling like I have acquired enough skills to take that leap into after I've acquired like some skills to jump into like that
mm-hmm.
new market where the skills that I've acquired line up with. So, but I'm working on taking that leap right now, but
You
I don't want to
go
get too
ahead.
much into it. I like to try to keep certain, I'm working on keeping certain things to myself until they come into
Hmm.
fruition. So,
Okay.
okay.
We respect it.
Okay.
But we're also here for you.
Thank you.
So yes, yeah, just making sure you are acquiring new skills, moving on in your position. Don't be stagnant, you know, and because nobody likes that feeling of realizing you look up and you realize you've been somewhere for like the last 5, 6 years, and yeah, and you just wasted part of your 20s. So yeah, keep it going, guys.
Keep it
Um,
going. Keep it moving.
Another side note, if you're
Yeah.
staying at a job for a long time, like sometimes they want you to quit because it's just cheaper for them to hire somebody else with less experience than you. So staying there for a long time, and just expecting them to pay you and give you your raise and whatnot, they may not want to do that, but you
Yeah.
could move on somewhere else.
Yes.
So I would keep that in mind too.
Gotcha. So basically, keep your options open
Hmm.
and skilling up if necessary. And basically, this is not the same job market that our parents grew up in or
It's
grandparents.
not.
Like, you're not going to stay in a job for like 25 years and have retirement or like a
Right.
pension or tenure or whatever things that they
Hmm.
have that we don't have anymore. Uh, so always keep your
Exactly.
options open.
Exactly.
Don't stay too long. Wait, before we move on, I'm so sorry. Another question. Do you have any recommendations for how long someone should stay at a job?
You know, I haven't researched it,
Mm-hmm.
but in all honesty, I can't see it being very beneficial to be somewhere more than like 2 or 3 years.
I
In this
agree.
market that we're in,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it being that beneficial. Unless you actually can move up
Mm-hmm.
within the company,
Yeah,
I don't see it being helpful.
I completely agree.
Um, but yeah, the next point is, you know, you get comfortable sometimes with your coworkers, but oversharing, it's usually not a good idea. And what I mean by that is getting gossipy at work and, you know, just like getting gossipy like within work. So talking about other people at work, probably not a good idea. Also, oversharing things that you have going on at home. Like with your supervisor, let's say you have a supervisor and you're giving them a little information, like I have a doctor's appointment, you don't have to go in detail, you know, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or just getting comfortable with people at work and just letting them know all the things you got going on at home. Um, your husband, you know, your nerd, like it's not professional, but also unless you really get a chance to know these people, it probably won't benefit you, and it could backfire.
I would say 9 times out of 10, it will backfire because, like you said, you don't know these people. Some of these people could be
Mhm.
your ops. I know.
Girl.
Like your some people, I'm using slang, some people might not know what that means. So your ops is kind of like your opposition, like people who are opposed to
Mhm.
you and what you have going on. There's a lot of people that smile in your face but
Yeah,
really feel some type of way towards you, and you don't want to arm them with information about you that could
yeah,
backfire or they could use against you. And there's definitely way more people in this life that you'll come across like that than you realize,
yeah. It's too bad. It does suck.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it is too bad because you want to, I mean, you spend so much time with these people, so you want to be able to like let people in, especially if you enjoy their company at work. But a lot of times it's not a good idea.
Yeah. And I feel like that's something that I kind of knew when it came to coworkers, but I'm also learning that that's something you can apply to every single aspect of your life. You
Mm.
shouldn't overshare with anyone.
Dang.
Honestly, I mean, you can have that one person in your life that
Mhm.
tell everything to, but just know that if you're sharing this with somebody, this person could be cool with you one day and
Mhm.
maybe not cool with you the next. Like, is this person someone that you feel like you can trust and someone who
Mhm.
will not tell all your business once you guys aren't on, you know, the best page anymore. You guys aren't, you know, super cool anymore. Like you really need to learn how to vet people.
Yeah, I think as you get older, one thing I learned is like with your relationships, like your significant others, like even with your friends, you some stuff you might not want to like go too in depth with because everybody's I feel like at this point had that experience where they're like, um, yeah, just like with their significant other and they have like a little falling out and they tell their friend and then then the friend is like, I hate them.
Yep. And
I
I'm
hate
that friend,
and
not.
then and then they
Yeah.
get back together and you're like, I still hate
You, yeah.
your spouse.
Yeah. It's like we're ops for life now. Sorry.
Like, how do we go
um,
back? We don't go back.
you don't go back. So definitely don't overshare with your coworkers. Yes, I
Yeah.
100%, like 9.9 times out of 10, it is a terrible idea.
Yeah. Most of the time, I agree.
Ooh,
Mhm.
and that's something because a lot of things that we shared are things that I have down pat, but it's like none of us are perfect. I definitely feel like I've had moments where I feel like, ooh, I probably shared a little bit too much, but it's okay because we live, we learn. And I feel like knowing this information can help you into the workforce more empowered and keep you from making
Yeah.
common mistakes that a lot of people make. And we
Mhm.
all make mistakes, but the smartest people learn from others' mistakes. You don't have to make all the mistakes yourself. And
Mhm.
if you want to keep learning, please follow us and subscribe to the Getting It Wrong podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure if you want to see us, YouTube, because we look really cute today, by the way.
Oh, period. I like the yellow.
Thank you. Summer, I love
Mhm.
our blonde. I feel like we're giving summer renaissance.
Mhm. Right.
But just to recap everything that we talked about today, what we get wrong in our 20s workforce edition, make sure we're setting proper boundaries. Don't go into your job 100%, go in more like 70 and you can work your way up or down.
Mhm.
Keep yourself and taking care of yourself as a priority, whether that's exercise, your
Yeah.
routines, whatever you need to feel sane and happy. Make sure that you are saving and investing your money, whether
Yes.
it's in an online savings account, 401k, Roth IRA. Um, have a third place. So don't just
Mhm.
go to work and go home. Make sure you have another place
Mhm.
where you can connect with yourself and others outside of just work and home.
Right.
Don't stay at a job too long. 2 to 3 years is a good time, but after
Yeah.
that time, you really need to make sure you're doing what's necessary to move forward and grow. And also, do not overshare with your coworkers. Do not.
Amen.
Do
Amen.
your coworkers are not your friends.
Amen.
Amen. And we could talk to you guys all night.
Mhm.
Actually, we actually got done at a good time today. I was going to say we're about to go to sleep, but we're not about to go to sleep. We're probably going to
Hey.
chat a little bit after that, and we deserve to chat and not go straight to sleep. So we'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully you
Mhm.
follow us. If not, that's fine as well. Oh, one more thing. If you guys have anything that you got wrong in your 20s when it comes to the workforce or the workplace,
Yes.
please share,
Let us
comment,
know.
let us know on our YouTube videos. I don't even know if you can comment on podcasts or
You can now
Spotify.
on Spotify.
Ooh, yeah.
Mhm.
So chat with us on Spotify, YouTube. Let us know things you got wrong in the workforce in your 20s. Shoot, even your 30s. Just let us know. 40s,
Yeah.
50s, whatever. If you got it wrong,
Right.
share it, and maybe you can help the next person.
Exactly.
But that's all we have, guys. Catch you next time.